I'm Jessie Janae, and this is Shipping Things. Welcome. Today we're talking about samples and prototypes in the world of custom packaging. What's the difference between them, and how do you get them? Samples and prototypes are physical representations of your design or aspects of it to help you better understand whether you want a certain thing in your packaging. Let's discuss the differences. Samples are examples. A company will already have examples on hand of other things they've produced for other brands, and this can give you a good idea of whether you like a certain print process, a certain material, or other aspects. While prototypes are made just for you. They're made to a very specific size or using your exact print so you can see your design in action. Of course, prototypes seem ideal, but they also cost money. I know, but let's talk about why. There are different levels of prototypes, and the least expensive options are produced in a one-off manner, not using the full-scale production processes. First up, we've got unprinted size samples. This will allow you to tell whether your product will actually fit in the box, but it won't tell you exactly how the design will look printed on the outside. Next up, you have a digitally printed box. This will show you exactly how your design will look printed, but it's not the production printing process, so you have to keep that in mind. This will be a little bit more pixelated or just slightly different overall. At Lumi, you're simply going to pay for the cost of the materials and the labor to produce the prototypes you're asking for. To give you an idea of that cost, a sample of a printed sticker like this might set you back $50, while a big printed prototype of a complicated box might cost you several hundred. Now, if you want to have a prototype that's printed and cut in the exact same way it will be in production, that's called a production prototype. They get pretty expensive because you need to actually produce all the tooling and plates and dies that you'll be using in production. We did an entire episode on tooling to explain how complicated that process can be. So that's why production prototypes can add up quite a bit. We got this? Cool. Hey guys, it's Jessie here. I have to tell you something. Production prototype runs probably aren't necessary for every brand. They're great for huge brands who might be producing hundreds of thousands or millions of units, but otherwise it might eat into your production timeline and money unnecessarily. Wait, I gotta go. If prototypes aren't feasible in your timeline or budget, don't worry about it. That's what samples are for. Samples are a great and inexpensive way of seeing what your design will look like what does white ink look like on a craft box, or what does having a pattern all over a matte poly mailer look like. These are things you can tell by way of samples. Another low-cost option for seeing your design in action is just to print off your die line, cut it out, and assemble it. Guys, even on a wee bitty baby scale, this is an excellent method for testing out whether your placement of your design is working out exactly as you intended it. Watch out, those flaps can get confusing. If color is your main concern and you have the time, a color drawdown may be ideal. A color drawdown is a test of your ink color actually tested on the material you're going to be printing on. This is great because you don't have to guess how it will turn out. It can be inexpensive as well, typically less than $50, but it does add a week to your timeline. Samples, prototypes, printing your die line yourself, or using color drawdowns, all of these things or none of these things, it's all about getting you a gut check that makes you feel comfortable with the amount of money you're going to spend on your packaging run. Because if you're producing thousands of boxes or hundreds of thousands, the last thing you want is to have a nightmare with your logo being upside down or something else like that. So these things do add to your timeline and your budget. So think about what's best for you, and if you don't know yet, sleep on it and then decide.